Mic check, 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Western Michigan Rebuild Dynasty, everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you missed our last live stream, we did the offseason, which entailed the players leaving, coaching changes. We didn't have any. The big thing, though, was the transfer portal and signing day, who we brought in freshman-wise, transfer-wise. We brought in a really good class. Not only some of the best high school players, a lot of gems, but also some really good transfers from a lot of D1 schools I'm really excited about. So today, we get to see, because we didn't scout any of the transfers, and you don't really get to see what the overall numbers are for anybody, especially not the high school kids. So we're going to see what those overall numbers are today. It's kind of a big reveal. And then we'll also see what the transfers are rated as well. We'll do position changes. We'll look at the depth chart. We'll do all the preseason stuff. Get the recruiting board going. Set the schedule. All that fun stuff. Training results obviously is mixed in there too. So this is always a fun episode. Speaking of the episodes, continuing to pump those out and catch up on those. Getting the games up and whatnot. So if you've missed any live streams, you don't want to watch the whole live stream, you can watch the episode versions. Those are going up as we speak. And we'll roll into Season 2, man. We ended Season 1 on a really high note. We finished 4-8, which doesn't look good, but we won 4 out of the last 5 games. And we have a lot of momentum going into Season 2. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. And without any further ado, we're ready to get into it. So off we go. Season 2, Western Michigan. What do we got? My brother's telling me to check out National Signing Day. Look at that one more time. So I'll give y'all a refresher on it before we advance the week. So here's how we ended up. We got a quarterback this year, a 3-star. We ended up getting this transfer running back from Rutgers, I want to say, Dalton Briggs. He's a sophomore. I don't know if that means he's a sophomore coming in or if he is going to be a junior when he actually gets on campus. I guess we'll find out. I assume that means he's going to be a sophomore, so that means he would have a decent amount of eligibility left. We brought in one receiver, transfer from, I want to say Arkansas, from Homa, freshman, really cool name too, Melo Nani, maybe is how you say that. Top 25 wide receiver transfer. We brought in a freshman tight end, Bakari Dukes from Illinois, really hammered Illinois hard in this recruiting class. He's a gem, 6'4", 251, big dude, and more of a receiver. So kind of a best of both worlds kind of thing there. Let me backtrack and see if we can see what the attributes are. Oh, we can now. Okay. Well, I scouted him, so I want to see if we can see it for these guys. No, we can't. Colin, what exactly are you asking for me to show you? Because I didn't scout any of the transfers, so I can't see what their traits are right now. Andre, what's up, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. All right, getting back to what I was doing, though. Offensive line, we didn't bring in any tackles. I think we needed some tackles. But it just didn't work out. Didn't get any transfers, didn't sign any out of high school. I don't think it's a pressing concern, but we brought in a lot of guards, a lot of interior guys, and worst case scenario, they can kick out and play a little bit of tackle, not a big deal. So a couple 3-stars out of high school there. We brought in one center. This guy, Josh, can play center. He could play guard. He could play a couple different positions. So, wherever we need him to play, he will play. I think he could play D-line even, too. Defensive end, we did a good job of between high school and the transfer portal. So we got 3 guys out of high school, a couple gems. And then a transfer here, Glenn Regis, a freshman. I forget where he played before. I want to say, Notre Dame or something like that, maybe, if I remember correctly. And then Justice Clapp, also a freshman transfer there at defensive end. One defensive tackle, Owen Hill from Pontiac, Michigan. He is a transfer, actually. He's from, I want to say, Iowa. This was all in the last live stream. I can go back and double check and make sure, but I think he's from Iowa. So he's a transfer, one of the best in the market, on the market. And then we did 2 and 2 here, high school, and then transfer linebackers. Really excited about middle linebackers. So 2 guys here that are really fast and athletic out of high school. This is the #1 middle linebacker transfer in the country. Christian Allegro from Wisconsin, I want to say. He's a transfer junior. So he's very fast, he's very athletic. We'll get to see what his speed, acceleration, and all that stuff was pretty soon. And then Byron Pounds as well, a sophomore transfer from Milwaukee. Moving back to the secondary, one out of high school, Clay Stokely, and then this guy here, a freshman transfer at corner, who's 6'2", which I really like. 6'2", good length. 3 free safeties, all out of high school. Good athleticism, good tackling, good speed. And then 1 and 2 here. Avery Hakeem, one of our better signees, strong safety, and then Marable and Helton, both transfers that we got. And then we got both our kicker and our punter, which we needed. Okay, Colin, you wanted me to go and look at their, what exactly? The development trait, bottom right? Okay, I don't really know what that means, but we'll take a look at it, I guess. So impact, you're gonna have to explain what this stuff means. This is too advanced for me. I'm gonna wait for you to say that. Appreciate it, Andre. Not exactly what I was looking for, but my hair looked terrible, so I need to get a haircut for sure. What exactly are we looking at with the development trait? Seeing a lot of impacts, normal impacts. All right, normal is tier 1, impact tier 2, elite is tier 4. Well, how do you... I see, okay. Okay. So that kind of gives you an indication, I guess, as to what the overalls will be, is if they're impact or normal or whatever it is. So let's see. Seeing a lot of impacts. Love that. Impact and normal there. Oh, we got a star right here. Glenn Regis. So which one is star? Is star tier 3? Yeah, tier 3. Okay. Am I able to see before signing day what their development trait is, if they're a star, if they're normal, or whatever it is, and I've just been neglecting that? All right, getting back to it. Impact, star, pretty much all impacts here. Regis is the only star that I've seen so far. Make that 2. Owen Hill, also a star. I don't know what Allegro is going to be. Man, he's only an impact guy. You'd think that he'd be a star for being the #1 Mike linebacker transfer. You can only see that on National Signing Day. Okay, so I was wondering why you were telling me to do that, because I don't know what that means, but thanks for letting me know. Now that I know that, that's good information. Byron Pounds is listed as a star, but Allegro is only an impact. That's weird to me. So we got 3 stars, impact there, nobody, just normal there, nobody impact or anything like that. We got 3 impacts at strong safety, and our punter is an impact. So that's cool. We got 3 stars. The D tackle, one of our Mike backers, and then Regis here. Yeah, Regis the D, not Clapp. So there you go. Good class. Why don't we look at the ranking real quick, and then we'll move on. I'm pretty sure it was like top 50-ish. Let's see. No, we're in the MAC. 45, #1 in the conference. 28 total signees, 27 3-stars. We got Allegro, who was the 4-star, and pretty much just blew out the rest of the conference. That's a really good class right there. Gotcha. That's why you don't bring in busts. I gotcha. I may have brought in a couple this year, but I certainly avoided them for the most part. Real quick, here's a look at where we signed guys from out of the portal. So Pounds is from Notre Dame. Hill's from Iowa. This is the corner. I'm sorry. The receiver's also from Arkansas, but this corner's from Arkansas. Marable's from Purdue. I feel like that's a player in real life too, Marable. I remember following him recruiting-wise. Dalton Biggs here, from Rutgers. Aliogra's from Wisconsin. Regis is from Notre Dame. Claps from Va-Tech, Arkansas. And then we didn't get this guy. I don't think I wanted him, though maybe I should have gotten him, from Iowa. Now, my brother wanted me to check if New Mexico had any transfers, guys that were on my team previously. It doesn't look like they did. Yeah, if this is alphabetical, it doesn't look like they did. Nope. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm on any. I just checked. So, there you go. I'll give it a sec. Colin, did I go to the right thing? I didn't see any transfers. I went to any, and that was that. So, I don't think I missed anything. Oh, all right. I'll look one more time, then we'll advance. When I do the live streams, I can go as long as I want, so it ain't a big deal to me. When I do the episodes, I cut out all this extra fat in the episodes that we don't need. Any position, and okay. Now I'll go check. This might take a second. I wish there was a way to skip through this faster. Damn, everybody's transferred out of Indiana. And UL. And Louisville. Damn, that's a lot of transfers. They must have lost a coach. Here we go. 2 transfers out of New Mexico. Christian Ellis. I think I remember him. And then another strong safety. I don't think they played for me that much. If they did, I don't remember them because their defense was garbage. Not many memorable guys. So, of course you do, Colin. Of course you do. Okay, moving on. That's signing day. That's what we got coming in. Position changes. I think now is when we'll be able to see, what guys' stats are. So, off the bat, you can already see Allegro is the best player on our team. 88 overall, 87 speed, 90 excel. I don't know why this guy wanted to come play for us so bad. He could have gone literally to any school in the country, but we'll take him. By the way, he was listed as a transfer junior. He is a senior. So I guess what it means is if you're a transfer and it says freshman, you're actually going to be a sophomore, it sounds like. So 87 speed, 82 acceleration, 6'4", 240. Guy's a stud. Hopefully that translates well to the field. Who else we got? Here's the corner from Arkansas, 80 overall, 89 speed, 89 excel, and he's got that 6'2" length. Lovely. 99 change of direction, by the way. That's unreal. Helton, he's been on our team. I don't think he was a transfer. Why don't we go by position? Why don't we do it that way? Here's Barr. Here's that freshman, 66 overall, 80 speed, 88 acceleration, 87 throw power is already better than our starter. His accuracy is a little bit lower, but damn, that's pretty damn good. Let's see. This is our backup quarterback. He's the same overall. I don't think there's any way in God's green earth this guy could play any other position than backup quarterback. So that's that. Nothing really to change there. Here's what we're looking at running back. Dalton Biggs, the transfer from Rutgers, 75 overall. He's a smaller guy, so 89 speed, 88 excels, a little bit slow for a guy of his stature, but he's the best running back on our team until Hickson does his training results, and he's going to bump up past him, I'd imagine. He's going to start for us anyway. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch right there, though. East is at 71. I want to see if we can find a place for some of these other guys. Like Hartwell came in and ran the ball well for us, but, I mean, he's 4th on the depth chart right now. So I wonder if we might be able to get him to a different spot on the field. Doesn't really look like it. Looks like he's just going to have to be a journeyman running back. I don't really use the fullback in my offense. How about any of these guys? Can they play anything else? Not really. Just too slow. So that's that. Nothing I could change there, but you get a good look at Biggs. Moving to wide receiver. This is fullback. Moving to wide receiver. Radley, he was on our team last year. Here's the transfer from Arkansas, so he's a sophomore now. 93 speed, 90 acceleration. That is unreal. And he's 6'5". Oh my God, this dude. I don't know why he's so low overall wise. He's got 79 catch, 81 catch in traffic, 88 spectacular catch. I don't understand why this guy is rated so low. Maybe it's his route running or something, but damn, that's a good football player right there. Anybody that we need to like move around here? Not looking like it. These guys are just depth pieces. Damn, Mulligan. Whew. Fastest guy on the team easily. What's Mulligan as a running back? We can look at that just for kicks. He's only 175 pounds, so he's a little bit small. 68, so I have better running backs than that, you know, but that would be that'd be pretty legit. But we use him like a running back in some situations. All right, moving to tight end. Here's that freshman Dukes, 64 overall. It's kind of honestly a little bit lower than I thought that he would be. But 82 speed, 77 excel, 77 catching, 78 catching traffic is already better than our returning tight end here, Stabline or whatever the hell. All right. Might need to move some guys around here along the offensive line. We got a 79 overall left tackle. He's going to get up into the 80s once we get the training results back. 80 left guard, Roseman. Man, we got a good offensive line so far, it looks like. This will get up to about 78, hopefully 77, 78 at center. We maybe should try to find a place for this guy. He's a senior, and he's the backup right now. Looks like he'd be a good guard. So that's intriguing. What was our left guard? 80 overall, so he can't go there. He could play right guard, though. So I think we're going to slide him over to right guard for sure. That's awesome. Glad that he could find a place to play. All right, right guard. Boom. Yes, I do want to do that. Sweet. So he bumps up 5 overall points. I don't know why he's much better at guard than center. That's interesting to me. But damn, we're going to have a really good offensive line on paper. Hopefully that translates to the game. So here are the freshmen. Well, here's one of them, actually. Randall. Don't think we missed anybody. 68 overall. So he's on pace to develop better than Biggers did, who's our center right now. And he's already ahead of Castellanos, who we brought in last year. But he'll train. Here's our right guard situation. Here's those 2 freshmen, Goff and Joy. No relation to Jared, I don't believe. We're going to slide. How's our backup left guard looking? 66 overall. Leave it as is. I mean, it's not a big deal. We got a lot of depth at right tackle, though. We should slide one of those guys over to. Well, we got 4 and what is it? 2 of them? Yeah, we should slide one of these guys over there just for kicks. Make it 3 and 3. There you go. Okay. We got a lot of right tackles. So this is going to be our starter, Jack Parker, 80 overall. Backups is 74. His backups is 73, and then his backups is 70. Can this guy play anywhere else at a high level? He'd be a 75 right guard. I think that's exactly what the guy, that we just slid over there is. He'd be a 73 center, but our center right now is 73 overall. How about this guy? Damn! Yo, this dude. Wait, was that Parker? Okay, my fault. I clicked on the wrong guy. I was about to say, if he's an 80 overall center, but he was 73 overall, that's nuts. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm just making sure none of these guys would be, much better options at a different position. Doesn't appear so. I got 3 centers and guards are 3 deep as well. I don't see the need to do that personally. But we only had 2 left tackles over there, so we should slide one of these guys over. Let's put the redshirt junior over there. There we go. So good depth. I mean, we'll continue to build that, but our front line right now is 80, 75, 73, 80, 79. Like, that's a pretty damn good offensive line. And once they train, they'll be even better than that, which is scary to think about, but that's awesome. Loving the offensive line. Looking real promising. Okay, defensively, here we go. David Anderson, 76 overall. Doug Oth, that's quite a name, 72. A little low on numbers there. Here's all the numbers. They're at the right end position. I don't know why. Lloyd, captain, returning. Here's Regis, that transfer from Notre Dame, maybe? One of those schools. Too many to keep track of. 76 overall, which is the same as our other defensive end. What is he? 6'3", 281 versus 6'4", 283. Looking good at D-tackle. We got to move some of these guys around, though, obviously. 76. Let's move this guy over there. He's a pretty damn good linebacker, though. We'll come back to that. He looks like he's a low 80 overall linebacker, which is pretty darn good. So we'll keep that in mind if we're looking a little thin over there. Here's our freshman, Caps, Gray, and then D'Angelo Burns, 69, 69, and 68. Let's slide one of them over to the other end spot. Doesn't really matter who. Just put him over there. Although he would be a good defensive tackle, which is interesting. Because if we could start developing as a defensive tackle now, he would jumpstart his development. But our numbers are looking pretty good at D-tackle. This guy, though, he goes up to an 80 D-tackle. Or who was it? Gray here. I'm sorry. I keep clicking on the wrong dude. He goes up to a 73 defensive tackle, which is 4 overall points better than him as a defensive end. I might look to move him there because we're pretty old at that position. So I think I'm going to move this guy to defensive tackle, and he gets those overall points. Because we got enough defensive ends as it is, and we can just slide one of these guys over to that left end spot that he was at. Boom. He's a 70 overall defensive tackle. That's not bad. What do we have? 5 and 4? What's he as a D tackle? 72. I mean, that's pretty good. And we're pretty young at defensive end. Really young, really. So maybe it'd be better to take another of these guys and put him at D tackle and start developing them. He's 70. I think we'll leave him. But this freshman here is a 72, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're going to move him to D tackle as well. So there we go. We got 4 ends. 3 of them are freshmen. And then 4 of them over here. And they all have extra years of eligibility minus Anderson there. And we'll bring more in. That gives us a lot of numbers at D tackle, but we have 2 seniors. 3 seniors, actually. So I think that's a good move to build that depth up there. And they get an overall boost as well, so it's the best version of themselves. But here's our D tackle position. Gus Weiler's a 81. Green's an 80. I think we brought a couple of these guys in last year during the portal cycle. Here's that defensive tackle transfer that was supposed to come in and be a star, whatever it was, development-wise. He looks good. So that's good. Can this guy play any other position? Because he's not getting much run there. He'd be a good defensive end. He'd be a starting defensive end. I might move him over to defensive end. See any of these guys. He'd also be a really good defensive end. Damn. But he's our starter. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I'm clicking on this guy and it keeps showing me the wrong guy. Did they do it again? I think they did it again. Why do they keep doing that? I'm clicking on Nunley right here. Yeah, thank you. What the fuck? We already moved him. I'm going to move this defensive tackle to defensive end. Wait, hold on. Did I click on the wrong guy again? I think I did. I think I keep clicking on this guy, and I thought it was this guy, and he went up to a 78 overall defensive end. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, my fault. Never mind. We'll keep it as is. I don't think this guy can play anywhere else, though. Who is it? Green. I didn't click on him. What the? Yeah, okay. All right, he can't play anywhere else. He's just going to have to be a depth piece, it looks like. So, is what it is there. That's D tackle, though. Excited about that. Okay, outside linebacker. Yeah, not looking great. And that one guy that we moved could play outside linebacker. We lost one or two to the transfer portal. Little low there. We run a 4.25 though. So I do want to see if we have what it takes to run a 4.3, potentially. Here's Byron Pounds. Let's see if we can find him a place to play. He'd be an 80 outside linebacker, be a 79 defensive end. He'd be a 76 slot corner at 233. That's nuts. He'd also be a pretty good safety. So a couple different options. Can we move this guy anywhere? He could play some outside linebacker. Here's the freshman we brought in. Darius Duval is a 67 overall freshman. And then Tryon's a 66. So good numbers there. Good place to start. They're in the right place. How we doing over here? Looking pretty good over here. Let's see if we can move this guy anywhere. He's a senior. He's not starting. Let's put him at left backer. All right, so there's that. How about this guy? He's good, but he's not playing. No, not much going on there. Okay. I'm thinking we could move Pounds over to left outside linebacker, and we got three pretty darn good linebackers. Nope, that's the wrong guy. Why do they keep doing that? Bro, what the? I'm clicking on Pounds. Thank you. Jesus. Okay, left backer. He'd be an 80 overall. Let's keep in mind the fact that he could be a very high-rated defensive end or safety, though, as well. I think he's a little bit too small to play defensive end every down, so I'd probably like him better at outside linebacker. That speed is berserk, though. 94, 93. That's just nuts. So across the board, 80, 88, and 79. Pretty darn good. And this guy had a really good end of the season here, Steven. That'd be a pretty good linebacker core to run a 4.3. Got a lot of Mike linebackers. Okay, secondary-wise, here's that transfer from Arkansas, 80 overall. We talked about him, but he's our top corner right off the jump. Down Definitely got to bring in some corners. We are very depleted at this position. Clay Stokely, though, was a gem. He comes in at 69 overall, 91, 90. That's more like it for a guy that's 5'10". Love that. Looks like he'll fit in well. So maybe move some guys over to corner if we have options. Here's our starting free safety. He's high enough overall. I don't think it's worth moving the pounds back to safety when he's already 80 overall and played the position last year. So he's up there. Murphy looks like the guy that's going to be next up at free safety, so we won't bother to move him. We got some depth, though. We got Cano here, and then here's our freshman. Josh Casey's a 69 overall. Karoma's a 67 overall, and then McGinnis is 66. See if any of these guys could possibly play another position well. He'd be a 69 overall corner. What would that put him at? Yeah, depth piece. See if any of these guys could play corner. I don't know why. Why can't I move him to corner? That's kind of weird. Huh. Oh, okay. Wrong guy again, I think. 67 overall corner for Karoma. And then McGinnis, 66. So not great. Nobody really viable there. Let's check Cano just for fun. He'd be 69. How about Murphy? 73. Not it. So that's that. Here's strong safety, Jason Helton, and then here's Marable, that transfer. They're in the same year of eligibility, so I wonder if we could. Yep, we could. We can move him to play cornerback. He'd be 76 overall, which might serve him better. Let's see how we're doing there. 76 overall would make him our number 2 corner. Intriguing. Then we'd lose some depth at strong safety. But maybe I can make it so, if there's an injury or something, that he could slide back. That's pretty darn good, though. 76 corner, he'd be a number 2 corner. And I thought Hakeem would be a little bit higher rated than this. He's only 64 overall. He was a gem prospect. I guess his development trait isn't very high, but we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to move one of these guys to strong safety, whoever ranks out the highest. 67, 69, and what's he? 66. And then Cano is 8. Dog. They keep showing me these fake-ass overalls. Thank you. 69. Let's move him over there. He's more experienced. We'll slide him over there. And then we're going to move Marable here to corner. And he's a lengthy guy, 6'0", 200, pretty big. Okay. So there's that. Now here's our corner position. 80, 76, 75, 72. Looks a lot better. I'm hoping that he trains too. If he transfers in, he should be a guy that gets the training bonus. 2 kickers on the roster and then 2 punters. Is this the guy we just brought in, or is it this? Yeah, this is the guy we just signed out of high school, so he's already better than our other punter. And looks like our returning kicker's better than he is. But where is that one offensive lineman we got? Josh Hess is how you say his name. Where is that guy? I think he's in the athlete section, and I have to move him because I didn't see him. Yeah, let's go move him. We got to do this thing, or we, yep. There we go. All right. Let's find a place for him. So, 66 D tackle. I think I liked him at offensive line, though, but damn, he's kind of rated pretty low there, too. Okay, I guess we'll put him at D tackle. That's his best position. So I was hoping for a little bit better than that, but oh well. I was excited that we got him, but he's our lowest rated D tackle. Depth piece, though, I suppose. So there you go. There's position changes. I think that we did all that we needed to do. We'll change around slot corner and slot wide receiver and all that when we get to the depth chart, but that's that. Let's look at the team. We're looking pretty good, I must say. I think we might be the most talented team in the conference when it's coming up to next year. So here we go into the next week. That took a long time. All right, training results. You'd put him at O-line, but he's 60-something overall. It's his worst position. I can get better guys than that, recruiting next year. Okay, so I guess the transfers don't get the benefit of training results because Allegro would have easily been higher overall. I don't know why I don't see him here because he was an 80-something overall last week. Okay, I'm confused now. Oh, you know what? They don't include the transfers on this list because they don't get the training results. I think that's what the confusion is. But anyways, as for the guys that we had in the team last year that are back, our quarterback gets up to 78. Decent speed, really good agility. He's got 99 agility. So there's that. Running back, Hickson's up to 80 overall, 90, 89, 94 agility. East is up to 74. Our 1-2 punch might become a three-headed snake this year with the transfer coming in, Biggs. Nothing else really notable there. Receiver, Mulligan gets up to 78 overall, still got the same speed and stuff, but he must have improved a lot of his other attributes. I mean, his speed and excel are high enough. I mean, I'm totally fine with that. He's our number one guy. Coffey's right behind. He came in the same recruiting class as he did, and he's also got some good wheels and length there. 76 overall here for Galladay. Kind of slow, though. But pretty good depth there, building it up. Mulligan's probably going to be like 80-something overall, 87, 88 when it's all said and done. Tight ends, still a little low, but kind of working with what we got. So here's offensive line. I feel like we had a higher overall left tackle there. They must not have boosted very much. Weird. But 79 left tackle, 81 left guard, 75 center. He was at like 73. He must not have gone up very much. 79 right guard and 81 right tackle. I guess they don't take as big of overall jumps as they used to in the old game because I thought that they would get up higher than they actually did. But notwithstanding, that's still a good offensive line. Everybody's high 70s except the center and then low 80s. So not too bad. Defensive end, 86, 77. I think we had some transfers and stuff on the other side at left end or right end, so not too worried about that. D-tackle's looking pretty good. 3 guys in the 80 overalls. Here's the linebackers. A lot of high 70s. This guy, Steven, is already up to an 84 as a redshirt sophomore. Here's the corners. Pretty high 70s. Stockstill gets a couple boosts. Point boost there, free. And our kicker took a pretty big jump. He was like 67 overall. He gets up to 72. The punter takes a big leap as well. He's up to 71. So there we go. Not a whole lot to extrapolate from that because it's not the whole roster, but we'll take a look at the depth chart next week. Make sure y'all like and sub if you haven't already. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Getting going on season 2 of this Western Michigan rebuild. All right, nothing to look at there. If we're under our scholarship limit, I'm not going to encourage transfers. We are 4 over the limit, it appears. So we need to encourage some guys to transfer. I have not done this yet. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see. We just brought in a freshman that's higher overall. We already have a redshirt freshman that's higher overall as well. Let's see if we got some better options, though, to encourage transfers. Yeah, this guy we definitely need to encourage the transfer. He's not going to play. Honestly, I want to do it for Hartwell, too. We'll come back to it. I liked when he came into the game last year. He did some pretty good things for us. This guy can go. He's never seen the field. Don't really want to do this for the offensive line, nor the defensive line. Nah, not worth it. Perhaps some of these linebackers, though. This guy, I don't think he's ever going to play. There's just no shot. Yeah, he's not going to play. We just recruited 2 guys before this guy. He's never going to play. And there we go. Down to 85. I thought we'd be below the scholarship limit because we didn't bring in all the team needs, but apparently not. So here we go. Preseason, recruiting, and making the schedule. Why don't we start with the schedule, then we'll get into recruiting because that's going to be the real heavy lifting there. Bye week 1, we're not going to do. Here's our conference schedule. We got a home game against Buffalo. We didn't play them last year. We'll go on the road to Eastern Michigan and play on that gray turf they got. Then we got Akron at home. I think they beat us last year. So we'll get some revenge on them. Bowling Green won the MAC and had the second best recruiting class. So that's kind of, they went 11-3. So that's kind of the team that is running the show right now that we got to dethrone. So that'll be interesting going on the road. They play on like orange or like, don't they play on orange turf over there too? A lot of colorful turfs being played on this year. And we got Ball State, at home. Northern Illinois at home. Ohio, who just won the MAC in real life. And then Toledo, team we beat last year, coming into town, home this year instead of away. So let's mix up this non-conference schedule. I do feel a lot better about winning some of these non-conference games this year. And we'll try to test ourselves a little bit. First of all, we're going to play New Mexico because they beat us last year, and it's our former team. We're going to play them until we beat them. I don't want to open with them though. Let's put them week 2, just like we did last year, and hopefully that lets us work out the kinks a little bit. And they're going to come play us this time. So bye week 3, we need someone to open up with. Let's see what we can find. We're not going to do all cupcakes. New Mexico is a 1-star, right, or a 2-star? I think they're a 1-star, so let's not play 2 1-star schools. Let's try to get a 2-star and a 3-star in there. We're not at the point yet where we could play like a 5 or a 6-star, but maybe at some point. Why they're 26? Why do they have the number icon next to them? It's weird as hell. All right, what do we got here options-wise? Who's interesting? UMass, ranked, and a 2-star program. That's interesting. UAB, Rutgers on there. If you guys have any suggestions, I'll consider them. You can put them in the chat. UMass being ranked 19th and being a 2-star program is really interesting to me. I think I want to play them and see if we can go get a ranked win against those guys. And we will go, how many home games we got in conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll play 2 non-conference home games and then 2 on the road. So why don't we open up with a road game at UMass? That seems interesting. Are you able to choose where the game is? I don't think you're allowed to do that. If you are, let me know. It doesn't look like you can though. It's either at or home. You used to be able to do that. An old one. Don't want to play FCS, so we'll certainly change that. Let's try and see what we got 3-star wise. Somebody of our caliber, kind of. None of these are really interesting. What do we got in the 4 stars? Of course. Duke's a 4-star program? Wow, okay. You like UVA? UVA is not really interesting to me. I do like Oklahoma State. Cincinnati's ranked pretty high. Tough picks. I like the idea of playing an SEC team. Maybe we play Mississippi State on the road. And then we'll play another home game here. So we've done a 1-star, we've done a 2-star, and we've done a 3-star. I don't think we're going to venture into the land of 4 stars yet. Maybe next year. North Texas is on there. That's intriguing. Who else is in the 1-star category? Coastal. Wyoming. Let's go back to 2 stars. So this would be a home game. I'm trying to pick who would be a good team to play for that. Tulane. Northwestern. Liberty. I like Northwestern. Let's play Northwestern. Kind of a regional game a little bit. So UMass went 10-3 last year. 19th so far, preseason. New Mexico, they ended up going 7-6. Maybe I was the problem. Bye week, then Northwestern, they went 3-9, and then Mississippi State, who went 7-6 on the road. So pretty tough schedule. I think it's a pretty good schedule. Bye week, and then we get into conference play, which is really what matters. We haven't done well in non-conference historically. I don't think I've won a single, besides Vanderbilt in New Mexico, I don't think we've won a single non-conference game outside of that. So it's certainly been an adventure. But there we go. Let me know if you guys are liking that. I'll take a look at it before we advance after recruiting. So that's done. Now we'll do recruiting. Okay. All right, what are the team needs? Quarterback, running back, receiver, tackles, indeed, certainly. Corners, I know for sure. I don't know why they keep telling me I need Mike linebackers. I don't need Mike linebackers. Wow. All right. So we're in first already for this 4-star defensive tackle. I know Oaklawn. That's a powerhouse. So any of the guys that got us in first, and they're 3 stars, we'll go ahead and add. Okay. All right, now let's go by position. We'll bring in our 1 quarterback that we do every year. This guy looks good enough. Running back wise, got him. Go ahead and add these guys. All right, we got 8 spots left. Receivers. Boom. Boom, boom. Couple there. Get tight ends. Add one more. Or he's actually ranked way higher than he is, so we'll get him. All right, tackles we need. There's 3. Grab one more. I'm going to get this one because he's ranked inside the top 1,000. And he's got us, you know, at least in the top 10. So we can work with that and go from there. One more spot. I don't think we got enough corners. Good, it looks like on D end. I think we got a lot of D tackles. Yep, decent amount. All right, this is corner we really need to do. So, all right, 1, we're going to need more than that. Where do we have too many? We don't need 5 running backs. All right, those are fine. Let's go get a couple more corners. Not many interested, but we'll get the ones that are. Let's get this last guy. I think we had too many offensive linemen. Tackles, I think we had a lot of. Actually, we don't. Only 4. Let's take one of these guys off. He's got us in 5th. The hell? All right, grab that last corner. Boom. Start there. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. All right, I want to start with corner. Boom. All right, Darren Kane. Let's get him going. All right, got a gem. 5'9", 96 speed, 89 acceleration, good agility, good change of direction. Certainly a guy that I want to get. So there we go. All right. Who's the next highest rated guy? We'll try Nick Van Ness. All right, not a gem. 6'3", love that. A little slow, though. And let's see. All right, Andre, per your advice, I'm going to take this JUCO guy off. I'm going to go try and see if I can find one of those 4-star corners, possibly, that I can try to get. All right, none of these guys. Looking for like a gold pipeline kind of deal. Maybe this guy here, Hood. Let's try him. Keep it realistic. All right, he's a bust. Yeah, nope. Back out there. I do like Darren Kane. I want to bring in at least 2 corners I like. Why don't we try Uche down here? Also a gem. There we go. So 97 speed at 5'11", 85 excel. Yeah, I like both of these guys. Not very tall and lengthy, but they got good speed. Give him a scholarship. Boom. All right, I like both of them at corner. Okay, what else do we need to do? Offensive tackle, I know, is something we didn't do well enough last year. He's a JUCO, so he's out. These guys down here, let's check them out. All right. He looks okay. Probably not the best option. He's better than Mozzie, or however you say his name, Maze. All right, so no gems out of those three. But I like these two. So I'm going to give these two scholarships. 6'7", 295, and 6'4", 299. All right, we got 310 hours left. What else do we need? We hit free safety last year. We don't have any strong safeties. Outside linebacker is kind of a need for us. Let's check this guy out. All right. 83 excel, 78 speed. A little slow. A little slow. He's a bust. Yeah, he's no good. I can't work with 74 speed. JUCO. D-tackle's not a huge concern, but this guy's a 4-star, so we should scout him. He's got us in first as well. Yeah, I like him. 6'6", 291. Yep. This guy is top 650. Let's give him a look. Yeah, they're about the same. Both good players. Oops. I'm loving this guy's YouTube username. This is great. All right, we'll give him a scholarship. And Sims a scholarship. Let's look at Brown just for the heck of it. Bust. We don't need him. I like these two. That's fine. We have two going out at D-tackle. We'll bring two in. Defensive end we should look at. Let's look at this offensive guard, though. He's top 1,000. His awareness is low, but his blocking numbers are pretty good. All right, moving to D-end. This guy's a 4-star. Let's give him a look. 83 block sheds, nice. Good strength. He looks all right. 6'4", 281. Another 4-star. Also looks solid. So I'm not getting any gems, but he looks... What's his block shed? I don't see it. He doesn't look very good, this guy. I don't like him as much as the other ones. His block shed's good. I like Strong, obviously. And who was the other one? God damn it. I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm not sure if they have gray jerseys. I'll have to check. I will do that next time we play a game, which will be tomorrow. Who was the other guy I liked out of this bunch? Wasn't him. Him. Yep. Winton here. All right, 80 hours to go. We've hit D-end, corner. Anything else we really need to do? Quarterback's not a pressing need. Running back's not a pressing need. Wide receiver's not necessarily a pressing need. Tight end kind of is. Let's hit this tight end. 81 catching, 80 speed, 84. So he looks good. I like this guy. 6'4", 249. That's a good player right there. Give him a scholarship. All right, we hit tackle. Did one of the guards. Didn't really like him that much. Let's check this one out. Bust. Bummer. Don't like that. Pass block power is better. Run block power I don't see. 83 strength versus 82. Run block 72 versus 64. Impact blocking is a 78. His is 81. Wow. It's actually not that bad. I need to stop hitting the freaking B button. My God. I think we're just about out of hours. We got 15 left. Did that. Did I like him enough to offer him? Yeah. Wait. He's a little slow. I don't know if he's a take. Can't scout him. Anybody else who needs an offer? Not him. I guess we'll start scouting. What to do? I don't know what to do. Maybe scout the best receiver we got. How about this guy's 5'6"? Severus Huntley. Let's see. 87, 86. At 5'6", you're going to be that slow? No. All right, we got 5 points left. Anybody offerable that we haven't offered? Just go through and check. Scouted this guy. I don't think I liked him that much, though. He wasn't a bust, though. He's not terrible. Oh, my God. If I hit that button again, I'm going to freaking... I'll play a game tomorrow. Got to go get some groceries and get some things done before the end of the day here. But I'll be back tomorrow. I posted a game today. If you missed anything, you can check that out. All right, 80 pass block power. It's better than him. Just on that alone, I'll give him an offer. He looks good enough. I don't know why I didn't give him an offer the first time. Maybe just saving points. But there you go. There's our recruiting board. I'm not in college anymore. Nope, not in college anymore. Here's our schedule. So we're going to go at UMass, ranked game to start. Home against New Mexico, try to beat those guys. They beat us last year. Obviously, we started the dynasty there. Bye week. Home game against Northwestern. On the road at Mississippi State. So an SEC team, Big Ten team, two pretty good tests for us, and then we get into conference play. And Bowling Green is going to be the big one. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most, I think. So there's our schedule. There we go. We'll advance it into next week. I think the last thing we'll do is look at the depth chart, kind of what we're looking like there. There's a couple recruiting updates for you. And then we'll cut the episode and then pick it back up tomorrow with the first game and all that good stuff. We can look at conference standings real quick. Where are we projected? I think this is kind of in that order, I assume, because Bowling Green and Toledo are usually the top. So they got us in, what is this, 6th? Kind of disrespectful, but okay. To start the season. Overall-wise, we're at 84 overall, 84 offense, 85 defense. That might be the highest in the conference. It is. So we're the most talented team in the conference, which I thought we would be. So there you go. That's that. Here's our team. So here's what our depth chart's looking like. Kind of see how we're looking at all the positions, and then we'll cut the episode there. Davis, Hickson's our starting running back. Biggs is right behind the transfer. And then East, so it would be a three-headed rotation, but it's going to be led by Hickson, who's a star in the making for sure. Mulligan's going to play slot, but he's our most talented receiver. Then we got Coffey and Galladay. Man, he's only 5'9". He's slow as hell. I might move this transfer up into his spot because he's got more speed and he's bigger. Not that that matters that much, but, I think I'm going to move him up. Before the next game, I got to remember to do that. There's our tight ends, pretty low, but that's, we're working with what we got. Here's our left tackle, 81 overall, 81 left guard, 75 center, 79 right guard, 79 right tackle. Right? Yep. 86 DN, Joshua Lloyd, followed by a 77. Not as high overall-wise over here. I think I got to move some of these guys around. This isn't looking right to me, but I'll fix all this before our first game. D-tackles, pretty highly rated, 80s, so that's, D-line's looking pretty darn good. Right outside linebacker, Steven, 85. Allegro, the transfer from, where's he from? Wisconsin, I think. At 88, I keep forgetting. There's too many things to keep track of. So I'm thinking we're going to run a 4-3 this year. Pounds, the Notre Dame transfer there at 80 overall. Here's our corners. Our transfer from Arkansas is our top guy, and we moved. Who did we move from strong safety? I think it was Marable. Marable we moved to corner from strong safety. We got some pretty good corners too. Free safety, 83, 82 strong, and then our kickers and our punters, all that good stuff. So pretty talented team. I'm excited. I think that we can certainly make a bowl game and compete for the conference title, and who knows what else we could do. So that's that. That'll cut it. Went a little bit longer than I thought we would, but got done. There's the preseason. Like I said, we'll be back with the first game on the road at UMass, chance for a ranked win, and we'll pick it up with that tomorrow pretty soon. So, again, like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. I think Season 2 is going to be a fun one, and we'll get it rolling tomorrow. So, catch you then.